me get into formation. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, my 15 subscribers. My name is Dejanay. This is DJ's Bakery. We have assortments of goods, stories, sim play, and in the future, true crime. But today, I woke up and I chose a creepypasta. And for those of you who don't know, a creepypasta is just like a fictional horror story, sometimes thriller, I'm assuming. I don't really know. Hold on. I'm relatively very new to this. So that's what I think it is. That's what I've heard. But before we start, I have a story. I rearranged the shit out of my room so I could figure out the perfect lighting situation. But it didn't go very well. So we start off our story with the narrator, who is a father. He's married to his wife Julia, and he has his daughter, referred to in the story as Jacinda. So I'm just gonna be going back and forth between them. If I accidentally slip up, you know why, but I'm assuming it's Jalinda. So Jalinda, oh, by the way, I forgot to introduce Maui. I'm so sorry, Maui. I'm so sorry, I forgot to introduce you. This is Maui. I got her at Target, and she's just gonna be here as our support buddy when we do this creepypasta that I don't really know how I feel about, but this is Maui. Anyways, she looks a bit dented because I slept with her last night. So we don't really get the father's name, so I'm just gonna call him Dad, I guess. I don't know. We're just gonna call him Jacob, since the rest of his family starts with J. So Jacob is the father. He's married to his wife Julia. That voice crack, I'm so sorry. And he has a daughter named Jalinda, which I already said. So Jalinda, she is a teenager. She goes to high school, obviously. They live in like a small town kind of vibe. Jacob, the dad, which I just named, he works somewhere. I forgot where he works, but he works. The wife, Julia, works at like a mill place. Something like that. And Julia goes to a high school. She's popular. I mean, she's not like super duper popular like Regina on Mean Girls popular, but she's popular in her own right, you know. She's gorgeous, according, to the video I saw when I was watching the story. I thought she was really pretty, you know, pretty savage. Yeah, and so she's the kind of student, she keeps up with her grades, she keeps up with her assignments. She's not like valedictorian material, I guess, but she does what she needs to. She's good at it, she keeps up with her grades, you know, everything like that. So one day, Jacob, the dad, overhears a slumber party with Jalinda and her friends. I think it was like Catherine, Gia, and Leah, probably. I don't think those are the actual names. I will link the actual creepypasta below if I can find it again. And they are, doing typical like slumber party gossip, where you're like gossiping about, the cute, hot, popular guys at school, everything. And this is when Bilson, I don't know his last name, Bilson comes into the equation. And all the girls are like, oh my god, he's so hot, he's so popular, he even plays football for the school team. Like, he's just a catch, he's just that really big fish that all the fisher people want, but they can't catch. But somehow Jalinda, she's special. She's a special fisher woman. And she catches that fish, Or so she thinks. So time passes. Jalinda and Bilson are spending time together. She's hanging out with his friends, hanging out with her friends, all that. And so Jacob, the dad, starts to realize, hey, my daughter is falling for this Bilson guy, and Jacob, the dad, he isn't stupid, okay? He wasn't born on March 13th, okay? He's born on Pi Day, according to when I'm reading the story. So, he's gotta be hella smart. Okay, he's smart. So he has heard stuff about this Bilson guy. Okay? He's heard about this Bilson guy. He knows that Bilson is a bad guy. He's like the typical bad boy in those movies, but only he's actually bad. He doesn't wear a leather jacket and all black and bruised, and I'm like, I'm a bad boy. You don't want to fall for me. but the point is that Bilson, what the fuck is happening with my hair? Okay, the point is that Bilson is just a bad influence on Jalinda. She starts breaking rules. She starts, doing all the typical stuff that teenage girls or teenagers in general do when they fall for an actually bad crime-ridden boy, And so, one night, Jalinda asks her parents, more specifically her mother, Julia. She's like, hey mom, can I borrow the car so Bilson and I can go hang out or something, And the mom's like, yeah, sure honey, you can borrow my car, whatever. Well, actually she wasn't like whatever about it, but she was like, sure, you can borrow my car, So, Jalinda and Bilson drive, they're hanging out, and Bilson reveals his plan. He's like, hey, I want to go assault a gas station. And throughout this story, it's never really clarified what assaulting a gas station means, but let's just all assume that he means like rob a gas station or something. Just, bring misfortune to the gas station or something. I don't know, okay? This story was like almost 10 minutes long. I don't know, like 9 minutes and 30 something seconds more precisely, but still. So there wasn't room for that much detail. So, luckily, they fail at assaulting the gas station. The police were called. Jalinda, keep wanting to call her Jacinda, because that's what the dad, like the narrator, straight up called his own daughter the wrong name. Instead of calling her Jalinda, the man says Jacinda. Like, what's wrong with you? Do you not know your own daughter's name? So the police are called, I'm assuming by like the store clerk or, onlookers or something. And Jalinda and Bilson, they get away. But the police have already gotten the number of the getaway car that Jalinda and Bilson were using. But if you remember, Jalinda was using her mother Julia's car. So the police now have the license plate number for Julia's mother's car. And Bilson, being Bilson, I'm assuming probably doesn't even give a shit at this point. After this whole assaulting the gas station fiasco, Julia, the mom, she is pissed. Like, she is, I'm gonna murder my own child pissed. Like, she is upset, and rightfully so. She's like, what the hell were you thinking? Like, that's my car. I could lose my job, And I mean, she works at like a mill place, so I don't know how high profile that job is, but I mean, if your license plate number was associated with a crime, I guess you could probably lose your job, even though you work at like a mill place or something. A mill, not meal, like mill as in like flour. Yeah. So, the dad, Jacob, that I named, he's just watching this. He's just an onlooker. Like, yeah, he's upset too. But the mom is the one really dishing out all the I'm disappointed in you food, So then, out of nowhere, I shit you not, Julia drags Jalinda down the stairs, shoves her ass in the basement, slams the door, locks it. And Jacob's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's our child. What are you doing? And Julia's like, I'll let her out soon, honey. It's fine. But, she needs to be in that basement to understand and reflect on what she's done. Which I can understand. You want your child to reflect on what they've done if they did something utterly fucked and now your license plate number is associated with a crime, which is, alluded to as a robbery. I mean, I can understand, right? But I think that locking your child in a basement is a bit risque. I mean, not something I would do if I had kids, but like, again, I hate kids, so I wouldn't know, right? But she locks her in the basement. And on the third day of being locked in the basement, Jacob, the dad, he hears Julia talking to someone. But the only thing is, damn it. The only thing is Jacinda, Jalinda is alone in that basement. So Jacob's like, who could she possibly be talking to in that basement? So he brushes it off. He's like, she's been in there for 3 days, hasn't eaten or had anything to drink, so maybe it's just delirium. I don't know, but he brushes it off and goes about his day. So, on the 4th day, Julia comes home. They talk about it. They're like, she's been in there for a while now. But the mom, she's like, she's not coming out until she apologizes. Or if not an apology, at least an admission of guilt. Like, I did something wrong, And then all of a sudden, that's when they hear a shit ton of screaming from the basement. And so, Jacob, Julia, they're looking at each other like, what's going on down there? Like, she's alone down there, what's going on, right? So, they call the police. The police come, they break down the door, and this is where shit really hits the fan. And I know you can't really see it, but I have a ceiling fan. That's what that noise is. I have a ceiling fan in my room and shit. Just imagine shit hitting that fan. I don't want to throw something at it and then, But, stuff gets really crazy. In the basement, there's a group of people. Kind of like a seance-y type thing. But not like a ritual. And there is this red glow in the middle of the room, and Julia, damn it, I did it again. Let's see how many more times I call Jalinda Julia in this story. Jalinda, she's in the middle of that circle, and she is screaming bloody murder, right? And so the police come. One of the cops takes out his gun and he's like, ma'am, this is a private property, you need to leave, right? But then the girl's like, no, I'm not leaving, you leave. So the police and the group of people in the basement get into this tussle. And then Julia gets stabbed in the leg by Jalinda, because Jalinda was like a part of the tussle. And Jalinda, she's fighting with these 3 officers, and the dad's like, whoa, shit, my daughter's winning. Like, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention. Alright. And so, he's thinking about the book he saw, like when he went into the basement after Jalinda was released from the basement. He goes down there, and he was looking for her, and he saw this book on the table, kind of like a ritual book is kind of on a table. There's like candles everywhere, like all sorts of ritual paraphernalia just in the basement. So this that whole scene was a flashback, and now we're back into the basement where the cops and Jalinda are fighting. And he's like, could this be some like possession thing? I did see that book. I did see that altar, that like ritualistic altar, so could this be some form of possession or something? Then, I don't know how this happens, but I guess Jalinda, her like 5'1" self, I'm assuming, knocks out the cop that she's fighting with. After stabbing her mother, pushes her father, Jacob, into the laundry room washing machine thing, and she goes back up the stairs with this evil ass smile on her face. In those horror movies when kids are possessed and they have this like smile on their face. But yeah, Jalinda just has this evil, like psychotic smile on her face as she's going up the stairs, and she's like, love you, daddy. And that's just kind of where the story ends. Like, I don't know like what happened to Jalinda. We don't know what happened. We don't know what happens after this whole fiasco. That's just kind of where the story ends. So if you have any thoughts as to what happened to Jalinda, my one comment should be that thought of what happened to Jalinda. Like I said in the beginning, I don't really know how I feel about this story. It's okay. Like, I can't imagine this keeping me up at night or anything. Like, I can't imagine, like, losing sleep and being like, I wonder what happened to Jalinda, you know? I can't imagine it, but I think it's good in its own right. Just maybe not for me. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed my very messy retelling of this story. Thank you for visiting DJ's Bakery, and I will see you next time.